The Arcturian Group Message, June 8, 2014. Dear ones, again we speak to you of the many changes taking place within this present timeline, as mankind ascends into a new and higher dimensional energy. There are many still unaware of what is going on, and thus continue to live their lives as usual, even trying to convince awakening family and friends to continue in the old ways. However, these dear ones are finding that to continue trying to live in energies that are quickly disappearing does not bring the desired or familiar results. Much third-dimensional energy and its manifestation has dissolved or is beginning to dissolve now. The protests and dissatisfaction you observe among the people of many countries is because they have begun to resonate with the new and higher frequencies, resulting in an awakening dissatisfaction with the old, leading them to seek change through new forms of governance, living, education, medicine, etc. So-called leaders of many of these countries feel threatened by change and do not respond, choosing instead to lash out with violence and rejection. Eventually these leaders must fall because the energy holding these situations in place is dissolving. Where does the shadow go when light is shown into it? In your quiet time, focus on peace, not on anti-war. You see, there is a different energy in resistance to anything. Resistance gives power to something that in reality has no power, and is a facet of duality. Old false concepts and beliefs based in duality and separation cannot be carried with you forever, and through choice and intent, must be consciously as well as unconsciously cleared from your energy field. However, being open to moving beyond what is familiar is a free will choice. There are many who are ready but unwilling, and they will continue to do what they've always done, relying on what they have been told by others, and looking outside of themselves believing that they already have all the answers. Each must decide for themselves when enough is enough, and this is sensed through a lack of resonance with the old ways, which in turn leads to a time of questioning and seeking. At some point, the spiritual student will begin to practice what he has learned and live out from a higher state of awareness, drawing to himself other seekers and spiritual students. Friends, co-workers, and family do not always recognize that an individual has changed, but will observe and often criticize his new responses to outside pressures and daily issues. Those ready will be drawn to his energy and will begin asking him about his spiritual journey. Many of you are finding that you no longer resonate with people, ideas, entertainments, laws, etc. that you previously fully embraced. This is because your vibrational resonance has shifted and is no longer aligned with them as before. That which you love and accept is that with which you are aligned, on the same frequency with. This is why most cannot see guides or relatives that have passed on. The human eye is unable to align with the higher frequencies of the light body. This is also the secret of happy relationships. You may not even realize any change has taken place until you go about your day experiencing it differently. Once an individual has the intention to clear and release old energy, the deeper clearings will begin. Some clearing has already begun for everyone on whatever level they are ready to embrace, offering them an opportunity to grow. Clearing often takes place in sleep, and can be experienced as a frightening dream, which is simply the old energy of some past experience releasing. At this time, much of what needs to be looked at and cleared is presenting as chaos, things out of sync, relationships no longer working, breakdowns on all levels. When these things happen, go deeper, examine your belief system very honestly, dear ones, taking time to sit quietly with paper and pen, writing down, what am I believing that is making me feel this way, experience these things, or to have these difficulties? Be very, very honest with yourself, for this is not a time to play games and make excuses. After you recognize some belief you are holding, ask yourself, is this true, or is it simply something I have believed because I was told it was true? This is work, dear ones, because nothing will happen or change without individual effort and intention. There is no one coming with a magic wand, you are your magic wand. Those of you who resonate with these messages are already doing the work, helping to create the new world. This is ascension. As you go about your day, you will start to have seemingly irrelevant but new ideas and experiences. Never be afraid to act upon these new insights, speaking your truth and having the courage to say no if something feels old and finished for you. There are still many who hunger deeply for the love and acceptance they are entitled to, but in ignorance continually look outside of themselves for that which is within. Because of this, these dear ones say yes to everyone and every idea, no matter how personally destructive it may be, and regardless of how much it may not resonate with them, they believe that by saying yes they will be accepted and loved. This yearning and search for that which can only be found within, is the root of all problems and is the bottom line of all actions resulting in imprisonment. Fear of bucking the system is usually the result of past life experiences, in which an individual was forced to align with those in power under threat of severe punishment or death. The energy of these powerful experiences remains held in physical cellular memory, as well as in the emotional body until cleared. The emotional body dictates to daily living in many ways. If the emotional body is filled with fear and other negative emotions, it can influence the choice to clear the physical and mental bodies. When you experience fear emotions, recognize them for what they are, old memories. You do not need to know the exact cause, then give gratitude that now you are evolved enough to acknowledge, clear, and stop dragging these old energies with you from lifetime to lifetime. Make it your daily intention to release and clear any old energies still resonating within your physical, emotional, or mental bodies, anything not resonating with truth and light. Consciously state your intention to release all lower resonating cellular memories stemming from old vows and promises, physical inheritance beliefs, painful experiences, diseases, etc., etc., whatever you are guided to address. Arcturian group wishes to speak to that which causes so many to resist change, for we see many ready for the new truths, but who consistently resist bringing truth into their lives. These dear ones believe truth to be very nice ideas, but far too impractical for actual daily living. They believe that they must get on with their lives in more practical ways, ways given them by the experts and familiarity. Dear ones, if you are to evolve, you must begin to live and practice truth until it becomes your state of consciousness, at which time it will become the practical everyday way of living for you. Living spiritually is the most practical way of living there is, for you begin to create from truth and not from the illusory concepts of duality and separation. Meditation is the best beauty treatment a person can give themselves. As an individual begins to understand his true essence to be completeness, harmony, wholeness, and all the qualities embodied within the divine consciousness, he will begin to manifest this in everyday living. Resistance to change and opening to truth is always fear, fear of the unknown, fear of losing self along with all that has been held as necessary and important, the belief system that has been one's foundation. The third-dimensional energy of duality and separation causes people to see themselves as separate beings who must personally struggle and strive for every good. Letting go of these beliefs means a letting go of the personal sense of self, ego. This can feel like a death and be very scary, for one's foundation is being pulled out from under them. However, you must understand that nothing real can ever be lost, only that false sense of self. Self is forever. The real foundation will appear as the illusory one dissolves. Let go of the dream, dear ones, let go. Trust is the answer. Trust practiced through knowing that you are always being guided and helped. Try to see those times of chaos as blessings, revelations of beliefs you still hold needing to be cleared. Try not to claim any painful experiences and emotions you may be having as yours, personal to you, for this will give these clearing emotions a home once again. Instead, allow them to release and be gone through your awareness of what is happening, knowing that they are impersonal regardless of how awful you may feel as they flow through and out. Try and stay centered, rest, and drink lots of water when you are going through the deeper levels of intense clearing which many of you are experiencing right now. Mankind over time and through ignorance, has given away personal power by believing that others know better than they about how life should be lived. Over eons of time, individuals have learned to distrust themselves, allowing this belief system to become the consciousness of each following generation. There will always be those who loudly proclaim their expertise about any and all topics, but the choice of believing them is up to you. Begin to trust your intuition and act upon it, for this is your connection to your higher self. Begin to actually accept that you are a divine expression and that everything you need is already present within your consciousness. Know that you have access to as much and probably more information than that person loudly proclaiming their leadership and knowledge. This does not mean you cannot consult someone who specializes in the sort of help or information you may be seeking. It may be the only way you can get to a deeper understanding of something at this point in your development. However, begin to understand that those who serve in these ways are guiding you toward the answers you seek, but they are not the source of them. Your own consciousness draws to you that which you need, in the forms you can relate to. Pull back from constant news and media hype about what you must have and need in order to be happy and healthy, along with all the self-serving political nonsense you are exposed to at all levels. Question the statements of all who would have you believe they have all the answers and solutions for you and the world. It is time for mankind to put on their long pants and get spines, so to speak, for this is a vitally important time in the spiritual journey of mankind, and if the opportunity is ignored, he will be left behind. Because of the gift of free will, every individual can take as long as he wants or needs to evolve. How you use this gift is your choice. Think about what you choose, dear ones, for the time is now. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com